Hello, everyone, and welcome to our weekly DVMUG meeting. Today's Tuesday, March 24th, 2026. As you can see, I have videos, news first, not too much news, and the rest is videos. They're mostly short. The ones with the apples are real short informational stuff. Um, And after that, we'll have questions. And ladies and gentlemen, please ask questions and answers afterwards. And we'll continue with answering your current or older issues. When I'm asking it and informing you this is going to be recorded to YouTube. The links to all these the videos have been put up to the BBS, and John is going to drag them over to the chat of the Zoom chat, and you can get it from there. Uh, when asking questions about the video just presented or something, or just presented, please try to use the reactions option on Zoom, or just raise your hand and I'll get your attention. So don't hesitate. If you have questions, you go ahead and ask. Just let me know so we can go ahead and show them to you. So with that said, um, let's let's say that you have to update. Before during this, I opened my Mac and I got this. Apparently, everybody got this. This is something I've never seen before. It's a background security improvements update. As you can see on the left-hand side, it says available in the Mac version. And once you click the bottom, restart and install, it takes next to nothing to install it. And you get this next screen saying it's installed, it's up to date, and it's going to take effect whenever it's needed. It's going to shut it off. It's going to turn it back on, something like that. But anyway, I got this, so I figured I'd share it with you.
Also,
Moving.
also,
Okay,
this
go ahead, John.
morning, 26 OS 26.4, everything was released this morning. Every device, iOS, iPad, watch, TV, HomePod, Vision, every single thing. 26.4 this morning.
I put it on the BBS.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is one more time. Just go ahead and update because there's stuff out there we don't want to deal with later on. That's been said. Let's move on. And this is I got this few days ago. This is regarding AI. Um, this is in New Jersey. This is from New York Times. But in New Jersey, teachers say that they want to equip kids, high school students, with AI, and so they know what they're doing instead of using it for illicit purposes or not purposes that are not helpful. So what they're trying to do is start a new or add a new subject called AI literacy. And believe it or not, they want to go back as early as kindergarten. What they're calling this is the driving education class, same as driving education class for high school. Um, in other words, they will when they take that class and they pass that class, they will get something called the driver's education, or driver's license for AI. So this all this is the link is leading to an article, and that article said they took a poll and they asked people or the kids what did they use it for, And I mean, what did they use AI for? And some replied, well, I used it for to check my math class. Another one, they have something called AI DJ, where it plays music for you or the kind of music that you like. And some of them just said that they used it for answering questions. Some said they needed help, and this is where the class started. They started saying if you more people need help, they need to start taking this class. So starting in New Jersey, and I think it's all over the country now, is we're looking at stuff that classes that will enable kids to navigate AI. That's been said. Does anybody have any questions or I mean uh, anything to add to this? Because it doesn't look like AI is going away,
Yeah, it
and
seems like it's a good idea. I mean, the sooner you get started on it, the more knowledgeable you can be. I mean, kids nowadays are in their cribs are playing with, iPads. It
no,
becomes second nature. So yeah, I think the sooner you get started on it, the better it'll be. It's just going to change you know, the landscape for term papers and stuff like that in the future. But
there was an article in that. I mean, there was a part in that article where they stress the teachers stress to use AI to check for inaccuracies and something else where it's not plagiarized and plagiarism. But anyway, it seems like it's here to stay. It's not going away, just like
yeah,
computers.
exactly. It's not going away. You might as well figure out how to work with it.
Yeah. Okay. So here's next. We are, I've been excited about the HomePod and and finally I found an article that says, well, this is at the end of this year, we're gonna get this. We're gonna get this HomePod, which is gonna control our all devices, Apple devices and all kinds of stuff. So I've got a few pictures of what it might look like, what it will look like, and what we want it to look like. So according to this, it is rumored that at the launch of at the end of 2026, this is going to come out. So we'll see what's going to come out. I think it should look like this. And look at it. It's a 7-inch screen. It's got all these functionalities on there to control your Apple devices. It's got this this bottom base that reminds me of old when the first Macs came out, iMacs came out, and I can imagine that having be loaded with speakers and you can blast your music all over the place. Maybe if the RAM or the memory is going to be cheaper, maybe they'll load it up so I can put all my music on it, connect a couple of speakers, and here we go all over again. But anyway, so this is what it might look like, or we think it's going to look like. And this is another version of it. It's a little flat little screen, still 7-inch screen. And looks kind of fits into place. It probably does the same stuff and controls everything. And the next one, they're thinking it could be something like this. The bottom bell part is from an old one of the first iMacs. That screen on top is actually held there by a magnet. So I guess it could be also charged that way, and it moves back and forth all over. Uh, and you can actually see all kinds of stuff and control everything. So it looks good. Not only that, there are also rumors that we will get in that we'll get Siri at the end of the year, and this is what is our animated Siri is going to look like. Now this is the famous Finder icon that's on that screen, and I can only imagine if it's animated, it's going to have to somehow move eyes or change color or stuff like that. To me, it looks kind of good. Looks like sort of like Mona Lisa. That smile, the colors, and well, I don't know about the colors because that's probably the background. But anyway, this is what we are looking for as far as series concerned. That's coming at the end of the year. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I like this. I hope it produces sound and it's going to be talking to you. So what the heck? This looks good to me. Anybody have anything else to say? Is anybody looking forward to it or nothing?
Well,
Anybody?
I have a home pod, but I really have surrendered to the Amazon Echo.
Uh,
I think it's far more capable of what the home pod can do because I originally wanted to automate my whole house, and the Apple home control system just didn't work for me. It was too buggy. But
hmm.
whereas the Amazon Echo is superb, it works beautifully. I got five of them throughout the house.
What
Well,
do you all
okay.
have hooked up to it?
All my lights. And in the morning, it turns on whatever radio station I want to listen to anywhere in the world. Um,
Well,
it's
that's
What's
also a
good.
it?
great source of information. Used to be I know when my daughter was growing up, we always had reference books and stuff at the dinner, and not at the dinner table, but available, and always had a world almanac around. And with this, you don't even have to have that reference material. You just say, "What's the population of Zimbabwe?" or whatever you want, and boy, you got the answer right now.
What's the practical price for an item like this? What are they saying?
I didn't they didn't specify in that article what the price is gonna be, but it is coming. It's not coming right away. It's at the end of the year. It is coming. I was looking for the price. I couldn't find it. So
Current rumor is the hardware is ready, but they're waiting on the improved Siri, which did not appear in 26.4. Delayed again, may not come out till 2027 in the fall. But
uh,
also, what the rumor is they might go ahead and release it anyway because the hardware is done and just wait for the. I mean, there's rumor the same with the Apple TV and the HomePod and then this new device is all waiting on this Gemini powered Siri.
right. Well, we'll see. We'll see what comes our way. But anyway, it's something to look forward to. A little thing on that counter. I can see. I hope it connects to everything else where I can look at my recipes when I cook and that kind of stuff. That'd be nice. Okay, let's move on. And this is what I found today. This is an addition today that I put in. California considering restrictions on social media for kids. This includes children under 16 years old. Apparently, the kids are paying more attention to social media than anything else, and they're going to try to rein that in. So I don't know much. I didn't read the whole article, but it's in a pipe. And the next one is
Well, isn't there some new? Didn't they pass some new legislation that schools can take your phones away during school time. You can't use them. Sometimes you have to turn them in or get them back at the end of the day so you don't sit there on your phone in class.
Well, I don't know if this had anything to do with the class or not. I mean, class with school or not, but and I didn't even, like I said, I didn't read the whole article, but probably that's what it's referring to because if you're sitting in class and paying no attention. So, but anyway, we'll see what's going to happen there. Okay. And the last one I pulled off today, FCC bans wireless router imports, citing security concerns. Uh, yeah, it's like, according to this article thing, anything that's not made here, you can't import or buy anything that's not made here. Well, as it was stated earlier by one of the members, is we don't make anything here. So how are we going to deal with this? But it there's a ban. So I run the old Apple routers, so I have no idea what I'm going to do. Anyway, anybody else have any ideas about this regarding this? John?
I don't know. I don't know whether there would be anything available for sale. Nothing is made here. The Apple routers weren't made here. Apple doesn't make any hardware here. It's all made in China and India and Vietnam. And
I just
You know,
checked with.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I interrupted. Go ahead.
No. Well, I was just gonna add, I looked up TP-Link because I have TP-Link. I have a older TP-Link, and I was recently looking at TP-Link routers, their tri-band stuff and everything. But they're out of Irvine, California. So I don't know how to take this. I don't think anything's made here, but
No. I just checked with my Amazon Echo, and they said the ban is not immediate. It's until all the existing stock in the United States has been sold, which is fine. But from then on, only routers made in the United States of America will be allowed to be sold in this country.
So
I
who
heard a
makes
story
those?
about this on the news today, and Netgear has already announced that they're going to bring their production ashore and start building all of their equipment here. And as a result of that, their stock was up 8% today.
there you go.
And the prices will probably go up 20%.
Like the price right now on all RAM has skyrocketed.
absolutely. SSD prices at the Apple Store tripled.
Oh my gosh.
Tripled. And they're going up. There was an article saying buy your SSDs now, even though they're double and triple, because they're only going higher this year. Get them while they're cheap.
Well, thank you, John. Please.
So what
Anyway.
they'll probably do to call it, what they can do, they'll be assembled here. They'll ship the parts over here and just put them in the cases. They're not going to make the motherboards here and stuff. They'll assemble them, whatever the minimum they have to do to call them assembled in America.
Yeah.
Like to the trucks, the little import trucks. This is a famous car story. The imported trucks, when they started coming in, there was nothing available from the American manufacturers to compete with them. So they had a law that they had where they brought them in with the beds not attached, and they stuck the beds on in this country and called them assembled here, and that's how they got around it. They still do that to this day because the law still exists. Because there was like a huge tariff. I remember they used to do that at the Port of Richmond. I used to go down there and had an old World War II plant down there, and they converted it over to like assembling the trucks. The cab and chassis would come in, they drive in, they put the bed on it, and they call it Made in America.
Hmm.
Okay, move on.
All right. Well, and the last thing here. So I installed the new software, and I'm looking at this icon that reminds me of Rowan and Martin, the Fickle Finger of Faith Award. The Rowan Martin laughing. But anyway, I think this doesn't really show me a graph or anything, but it's kind of rude. I know this is more like it. I mean, I was well, maybe I'm used to it, more used to it than this, but this is kind of on a dark background, and that finger is just sticking way up there. And it's like, okay. So that's all I've got, as far as news is concerned. Um, I have a few videos. Most of them are, the first one is kind of on well, not that long, but anyway, the rest are just short videos. So um, let's see what MacMost has got to tell us about. And I always like to pick up a shortcut key or one or a couple, so I don't have to use my mouse. So, and he's got 10 different ways of doing the same stuff. So let's see what he's got to say about that. This is instead of using a mouse, you can use your keyboard to do the same thing.
Hi, this is Gary with MacMost.com. Here are 10 Finder keyboard shortcuts that every Mac user should know. So even if you don't use a lot of keyboard shortcuts normally, when moving around and doing things in the Finder, it can be very useful to know some of the most powerful ones. For instance, in the Finder, if you go down into a folder, like I'll go into this demo folder, if you want to go back up, you can Command click here and move back up, or you could use the back button. But the easiest and most surefire way to do it is to use Command up. Very easy to remember. And the back button here doesn't always take you where you expect, because for instance, if I were to jump from Documents to Desktop, back would take me not up from Desktop, but back to Documents, the previous location I was at, not the location above this one. Also note that if you have a folder selected, like this one, Command down, as you would expect, will take you into the folder. Now when you want to create a new folder, you can go to File and New Folder, but the keyboard shortcut for that is Shift-Command-N. And if it's something you need to do often, you should use the keyboard for this, not only because it does it quickly, but also you can see right there I'm ready to type the new folder name. Even if I were to use my pointer and go to the menu item, I need to still type to give that folder a good name. Now related to that, you may notice that new folder with selection is Control-Command-N. So if you want to put, say, these 4 files in a folder, you don't have to create the folder first and then move the files. Just select them and do Control-Command-N, and it creates the folder, puts the files in it, and now you're ready to name it. Now there are 4 views for the Finder. You've got Icon View, List View, Column View, and Gallery View. You can easily switch between them with Command 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's important to be able to switch between them because, well, if there was one of these views that was the best for everybody, we would all just have that one view. But because each has its own strengths and weaknesses, it's very useful to easily be able to switch between them. So you can go to Icon View, go to List View, Column View, and Gallery View. If you find these videos valuable, consider joining the more than 2,000 others that support MacMost at Patreon. You get exclusive content, course discounts, and more. You can read about it at macmost.com/Patreon. And when you want to rename something, whether it's a folder or a file, if you go to File and look for Rename, there it is. You can use it and see you could rename that file. But notice that there was no keyboard shortcut for that. The keyboard shortcut is actually just the Return key. So just select the file, press Return, and now you're ready to name the file with just the file name, not the extension selected. However, a quick Command A will select all, just like it does in a word processor, and then you can rename the entire file, including the extension. Now, it can be hard to tell what a file contains just by looking at the file name, and the icon's often too small to help as well. Even in icon view, it's usually too small to see the image very well. But a quick press of the space bar will bring up Quick Look and show you the file. If it's an image, you'll see the image. If it's a PDF, you'll see the PDF. Any other type of file, and it's going to show you what it can. So this text file, it'll show me the text inside. This numbers file, it'll show me what's in the numbers file. I can even move between sheets. But if you don't like how Quick Look takes over everything, use Shift, Command, and P for preview, and it brings up a preview to the right. You may be used to seeing this here in column view, but you can also view it here in list view. It even works in icon view like this. You can select a file and then Shift Command P, and you get a preview here on the right. It stays there, so you can select different files and see the preview for each one of them. Another Shift Command P dismisses it. Now, when you want to delete a file, any Mac user knows you select the file and drag it to the trash. But you don't have to actually do the drag. You can just select the file and then use Command Delete. You could see it here under Move to Trash, Command and the Delete key. And that does the same thing as dragging it to the trash. In addition, if you hold the Option key down, you can use Option Command Delete to skip the trash and delete the file immediately. But in general, you shouldn't do that unless you have a really good reason. The trash is a safety net that'll prevent you from accidentally deleting files. If you always use Delete immediately, then you'll eventually run into a situation where you accidentally delete the wrong file. Now, it's often very useful to have more than one Finder window open at the same time, although I prefer to use tabs. And in File, you've got New Tab here or Command T. So it's really easy to create a new tab, and you still have this view of this location here, and then another location here. Command T opens up a third tab, and you can even drag and drop items between tabs just by hovering over until it switches and dropping the item in. To close tabs, all you need to do is use Command W. Command W closes the current tab, and if there is only this one tab open, Command W would close the entire window. Oh, and if you want to open a new tab with a selected folder, like this examples folder here, use Control Command O, and it opens a new tab at the location of the folder that was selected. You could even do it for multiple folders. I'll select these three folders here. Control Command O will open 3 tabs. Now, you probably know you could use Command C to copy and Command V to paste in any text or graphics app, but you could do it in the Finder too. So for instance, I'll go into this folder here and I'll select this file and use Command C to copy. Then I'm going to go up and go into another folder here, and I can use Command V to paste. What that actually does is paste a copy of the file here. So now I have 2 versions of this data.numbers file. If I wanted to move the file, instead of paste, I can hold the Option key, and this changes to Option Command V. So you use Command C to copy, and then Option Command V to move the file. That file is no longer in its original location. It's just here. Now, one of the most important keyboard shortcuts for any use on your Mac, but people forget that it also works in the Finder, is Command Z to undo. Under Edit here, you've got Command Z, and it will undo what you last did. So, for instance, if I don't want this file to have been moved to this folder, a Command Z moves it back. If I change a file name, a Command Z will undo that. If I were to use Command Delete to move a bunch of files to the trash, a Command Z would put them all back. And it will remember multiple things. So if I rename this file, rename this file, and rename this file, and then do Command Z, Command Z, and Command Z, it will undo each action. Now, the Go menu has a ton of different keyboard shortcuts for going to very particular folders, like your home folder or desktop or documents. But at the very bottom, you'll see Shift Command G, go to folder. This is very useful because you could literally go to any folder on your Mac as long as you know the path. Typically, you would start a path from your home folder off with tilde and then slash, and then continue to type the folder name. But a lot of times, if you just type the folder name, like remember I've got that demo folder, you could see there it remembers it from recent use. I can do examples and it will find that folder. I can do the notes folder that you could see right here and it finds that. I can do the folder I've called personal and it finds that. Just start typing, and as soon as you see it as a selected item, you could press return and it jumps right to that folder. So even if you're not a fan of keyboard shortcuts, knowing these 10 will help make you more productive with the Mac's Finder. Hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching.
So, and there you go. I have to tell you that I have done at least 2 or 3 of the things that he's talking about, like deleting, renaming, and believe it or not, it's just one I couldn't figure out how to get it back. But knowing the shortcuts actually helps a lot when you have a whole bunch of, not a whole bunch, a few applications open. For example, if when I'm creating this keynote, I have at least 5 different applications open. Going between them and then copying and pasting and adding and subtracting helps a lot instead of just using it. There are sometimes where you have to use a mouse where there is no command key or any shortcut to it. But if you know shortcuts, you can really run circles around everything. So anybody experience anything like that? Any comments? It's good to know keyboard shortcuts. Well, if nothing out there, then let's continue. Next one is, this is short, sort of, how to transfer data to your new phone or iPad using Quick Start and iCloud. This is from Apple. So just in case you get your phone from Amazon and you want to do all the stuff yourself, here's all the steps you need to follow.
New iPhone or iPad? You can sign in with Quick Start and then use iCloud to transfer all your apps and data from your previous device to your new one, so you can pick up right where you left off. Before you start, your previous device should be connected to Wi-Fi with Bluetooth turned on. Having a recent iCloud backup speeds up the process. During setup, both devices will be occupied for several minutes. Keep them near each other and connected to power. Turn on your new iPhone or iPad and follow the steps to get started. When you're prompted, place your previous device next to your new one. Then follow the steps on your previous iPhone, which includes scanning an animation with the camera. If the new iPhone or iPad is yours, tap Set Up for Me. Now you'll finish the process on your new device. Enter the passcode that unlocks your previous device. This passcode is encrypted and cannot be read by Apple, and it becomes the passcode for your new device. Then keep following the prompts. When the Transfer Your Data screen appears, you have options. If you choose Download from iCloud, your apps and data will download in the background, so you can start using your new iPhone right away. If you choose Transfer from iPhone, you'll need to wait for the transfer to complete on both devices before you can use them. We're going to tap Download from iCloud. If prompted, review the terms and conditions and tap Agree if you agree. Your previous device automatically creates a new iCloud backup, and your apps and data are restored to your new iPhone. When it's done, your new iPhone will restart. Enter your passcode and you're all set. apps and data will continue to download in the background while you're connected to Wi-Fi. And that's how to easily set up your iPhone or iPad and transfer your data with iCloud.
Anybody done that before? I personally have not.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I just thought of something that she was saying. So when you do an iCloud backup of your phone, you can actually go into the settings and exclude things from the backup that you don't want to be backed up to iCloud. So if you did that, you wouldn't get those back. Or if you did transfer directly from your phone, you would get everything. So if you're a person who knows that you did that, excluded things, then you wouldn't want to do the iCloud restore. Never thought of that before.
Uh-huh. I have to take back what I just said because my wife's previous iPad failed, and I have no idea with it. It just failed something to do with the system, and it wouldn't restart or anything. And I had to, matter of fact, and a good thing, thank goodness for iCloud backups. I just went back and got it back to where I restart from. I mean, connected it to my computer and went opened it up and it opened up the application and told it to restart from iCloud, and that's exactly what it did.
Let's set up your telephone as well, or do you have to set that up with your provider?
No, it doesn't affect your phone service.
This will
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you mean, well, yeah, it will move your eSIM over.
It will.
With your physical SIM, if you have an old phone with a physical SIM, you'll have to physically undo that or get a new SIM. It doesn't know how to change your phone number because it's on the SIM.
Okay.
No, the newer phones with the eSIMs, I've done that, and it transfer your service and everything, everything just works.
So if you go from a phone that has a hard SIM, you have to set your phone service up separately on the new one.
Yeah, if you go from a computer with a physical SIM, an old phone with a physical SIM, to one with doesn't have can't transfer your SIM card, you have to get a new eSIM from your carrier.
Oh, okay.
They can do it practically on the fly.
Yeah.
It's really pretty easy.
Yeah, if you're on a major carrier, if you have one of the NVMOs from an obscure service.
Well, I use Consumer Cellular and it worked beautifully.
Oh, that'll work fine.
Can
They're an MVNO.
Can Apple do
For
it?
people who don't know what an MVNO is, I don't remember the actual words, but it's smaller companies like Mint and Consumer Cellular and so forth who use big networks but sell their phone service to you very inexpensively. For instance, my Consumer Cellular never cost me more than $29 a month.
Just go to Apple and let Apple do it.
Well, I had the situation where I got Lifeline. They did away with Lifeline hardwired home phones. It's Lifeline service. Now you can get Lifeline cell phone service if you qualify. And I shopped for several of them that claimed to have eSIMs because my newer phone doesn't have a physical SIM. And they claim, oh, yeah, we have eSIMs. I went through two of them who claimed to have eSIMs and got a hold of them when it didn't work. Said, oh, no, we don't have eSIMs. So that's great. You told me you did, so I had to go to the third one I did have it and did work. But all the major ones do. Mint Mobile, I had great when I was paying for it. Mint was great. It's $15 a month.
Well, not exactly directly related to this issue. I was just now in conference updating my iPhone SE third generation, which has a physical SIM, and I'm on Consumer Cellular. And at the very end of the 26.4 update on it, it needed to update carrier settings. So it's
Yeah.
not just your physical SIM, it's carrier settings. It's working with your provider so that they can put the updated information in. So whether it's a physical SIM or an eSIM, they have some things they need to do on their end to complete the process.
Consumer Cellular has very good phone support, American speaking
People
phone
who
support.
speak English and who
Yeah.
also
Yeah,
are
they're very
well
helpful.
practiced with older adults.
That's what they specialize in. So yeah, you need
They're
tech
very good.
support. They're worth the money.
I've been with them since about 2018. They're just great.
Yeah, longer here.
They wouldn't work for me because where I am, AT&T is not very good.
But you have Wi-Fi calling, right?
Yeah, I have Wi-Fi calling, but even if I go around the neighborhood, AT&T
Oh,
is not
yeah.
is not good.
Yeah.
Can we move
You'll
on?
have to think of something else like Mint.
Mint's very good.
I've been with Verizon, and Verizon works as good as anything. Some homes here still have problem with Verizon, but we've been pretty lucky with it.
Well, Mint is Verizon.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, I think it's
I
what,
had
$35 a year,
Hmm.
but no tech
Oh,
support.
I had Mint. It was 15 a month on T-Mobile.
But if you pay by the year, isn't it much cheaper?
Right, you got to pay in advance for a year to get the 15, and it was on T-Mobile.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, so we move on.
Okay. So the next one is how to reset your iPad if you forgot your password. And to factory settings and more information regarding how to rescue yourself.
Forgot the passcode on your iPad? You can reset it in multiple ways. We'll show you how. Before you start, you'll need a Mac or a PC and a compatible cable. You also might need to allow your computer to connect to your iPad. If your iPad has Find My enabled, you'll need to have your Apple account information ready. We'll teach you how to restore iPad models without a home button, and then we'll show you how on iPad models with a home button. First, let's learn how to put an iPad without a home button into recovery mode, and then how to restore it. If you entered the wrong passcode on your iPad lock screen too many times, an alert lets you know that your iPad is unavailable. If you're using iPadOS 17 or later, Forgot Passcode will also appear on your screen. You can tap it and follow the prompts for the fastest and easiest way to erase your device and reset your passcode without using a computer. For this option, you'll need your Apple account information and an internet connection. If you still can't reset your passcode, you'll need to put your iPad in recovery mode and restore it using a computer. To do this, press and hold the top button and one of the volume buttons until the power off slider appears. Now, drag the slider to turn off your iPad. Then, wait a minute to make sure it turns off completely. Next, connect your iPad to your computer using a compatible cable. Now, press and release the volume button closest to the top button. Then press and release the volume button farthest from the top button. And finally, press and hold the top button. You'll need to perform these button presses in quick succession to enter recovery mode. Keep holding the top button until the recovery mode screen appears on your iPad. This might take a moment. If the passcode screen appears, you need to turn off your iPad and start again. Once it's in recovery mode, you can use your computer to restore it. If you're using a Mac with Mac OS Catalina or later, open the Finder. If you're using a PC, open the Apple Devices app. If your PC doesn't have the Apple Devices app, or your Mac is using Mac OS Mojave or earlier, open iTunes instead. When the option to restore or update your iPad appears on your Mac, click Restore. All content and settings on your iPad will be erased, along with the passcode.
If you have a backup saved to your computer or iCloud, you can restore it after this process is done. Click Restore and Update when you're ready. Then click Next. If prompted, review the terms and conditions, then click Agree if you agree. Your computer will download and install the latest available version of iPadOS on your iPad. If the download takes more than 15 minutes, your device exits recovery mode. Let the download finish, then turn off your iPad and start the process again. Once the restore process finishes, the hello screen appears on your iPad. Disconnect it from your computer, and you're ready to set it up again. Now, let's learn how to put an iPad with a home button into recovery mode, and then how to restore it. If you entered the wrong passcode on your iPad lock screen too many times, an alert lets you know that your iPad is unavailable. If you're using iPadOS 17 or later, Forgot Passcode will also appear on your screen. You can tap it and follow the prompts for the fastest and easiest way to erase your device and reset your passcode without using a computer. For this option, you'll need your Apple account information and an internet connection. If you still can't reset your passcode, you'll need to put your iPad in recovery mode and restore it using a computer. To do this, press and hold the top button until the power off slider appears. Now, drag the slider to turn off your iPad. Then, wait a minute to make sure it turns off completely. Next, connect your iPad to your computer using a compatible cable. Now, press and hold both the home and the top buttons at the same time. Keep holding the buttons until the recovery mode screen appears on your iPad. This might take a moment. If the passcode screen appears, you need to turn off your iPad and start again. Once it's in recovery mode, you can use your computer to restore it. If you're using a Mac with macOS Catalina or later, open the Finder. If you're using a PC, open the Apple Devices app. If your PC doesn't have the Apple Devices app, or your Mac is using Mac OS Mojave or earlier, open iTunes instead. When the option to restore or update your iPad appears on your Mac, click Restore. All content and settings on your iPad will be erased, along with the passcode. If you have a backup saved to your computer or iCloud, you can restore it after this process is done. Click Restore and Update when you're ready. Then click Next. If prompted, review the terms and conditions, then click Agree if you agree. Your computer will download and install the latest available version of iPadOS on your iPad. If the download takes more than 15 minutes, your device exits recovery mode. Let the download finish, then turn off your iPad and start the process again. Once the restore process finishes, the hello screen appears on your iPad. Disconnect it from your computer, and you're ready to set it up again. And that's how to restore your iPad if you forgot your passcode.
Oh, yeah, that's believe it or not, I never did read any of these instructions when I had to do that, but I did it and then it works. So anybody else have anything to add to that?
If you had Find My turned on, which you should, and you probably do, it's going to ask you for your Apple ID password to get in. So you don't have that, it won't. You're not going to be able to do anything.
Okay.
If somebody steals your iPad, can they go through this process to?
They didn't get to the last step. When he's done with those directions, when it starts up, it's going to say this iPad is locked to this Apple ID, and it will show a partial email address, not the whole thing. So you know which accounts it's on, and it says you need to unlock. You can't reset the password. It's missing a brick until you unlock it with your Apple ID password. So if you get we get them sometimes donated, or they sit around for a long time. You don't even remember, somebody doesn't even remember who it belongs to, some relative. If you don't know what the account even is, to go have it taken off the account, you can't do anything.
Okay.
Question. How
Go
far
ahead.
back right how far back right now is Apple able to restore an OS on an iPad that's being restored?
Well, we had once or twice people come to the clinic with something really, really old, okay? And it wouldn't read it on a newer computer. So we have some older stuff at the office, which mostly I got rid of. We had to go back to an older computer from the vintage that the iPhone was to be able to hook it to iTunes and hit restore and do it. It wouldn't even read it on a newer computer. That's
Yeah,
happened to me a couple of times.
the reason I'm asking is it talks about going up to Apple server to get the image to put back down on it.
Oh, no, they have all the software.
Yeah,
Yeah, they have everything.
it's been a couple of years, but I went through this with some iPads that had the 30-pin connector on it.
No, I've done some of those. I've done
Okay.
some of those as long as they were unlocked when the Find My wasn't locked. As long as they're unlocked, you can erase them. And I've restored some like really, really old stuff. And it's like, I was shocked that they have everything. Okay, move on. Next. Anybody else?
Anyone else? No. The next one is how to record the screen on your iPad or iPhone. I never even attempted anything like that, but let's see.
Want to capture what's happening on your iPhone or iPad screen? Here's how to create a screen recording. First, you'll need to add the screen recording control to Control Center. Swipe down from the top right corner of the screen. Then, tap the Add Controls button in the top left. Tap Add a Control at the bottom of the screen, and tap the Screen Recording control. Then, tap outside any of the controls and swipe up from the bottom center of the screen to exit Control Center. When you're ready to record your screen, open Control Center, and you can tap the gray Record button if you want to start recording your screen right away. Or for additional recording options, touch and hold it. For example, to record your voice over the screen recording, you can tap the microphone button. There might also be an option to start a broadcast if you have an app that supports it. When you're ready, tap Start Recording, and a 3-second countdown begins. Exit Control Center, and once the countdown ends, screen recording begins. Perform the action you want to record. When you're finished, just tap the screen recording button at the top of your screen and tap the stop button to stop recording. You can also open Control Center and tap the red record button. Your screen recording automatically saves to photos. To view it, just tap the thumbnail at the top of your screen. You can use the editing tools in Photos to refine your recording, and you can share it with others using the Share button. And that's how to record the screen on your iPhone or iPad. 3, 2, 1, action.
Well, I thought I'd use a camera for something like that, but obviously there is another way of doing things. So there's another way of taking a video. Anybody's attempted something like that? Anyway, okay. Let's move on. I have a couple more. Uh, this is how to share audio with AirPods from your iPhone or iPad. This is interesting.
Listen with a friend by sharing audio from your iPhone with their AirPods. Here's how. While wearing your AirPods, open Control Center. Tap the AirPods icon in the Now Playing control. And then tap the Share button. If your friend is already wearing AirPods, they can bring their iPhone near yours and tap the Join button. If their AirPods are still in their case, bring it close to your iPhone and open the lid. Once your friend's AirPods appear on your screen, tap Share Audio. While the status light is on, have your friend double tap the front of their AirPods case. This will temporarily connect their AirPods to your iPhone while you share audio. For some AirPods, you'll need to hold the setup button on the back of the case for a few seconds instead. If your friend's AirPods have Find My enabled, you're notified that they will be able to view their location. Tap OK to continue. Once your friend's AirPods are connected, you can set a different volume level for each set of headphones using the controls on the AirPods or in Control Center on your device. Now you can jam out together.
This is interesting. So they didn't mention how many sets of AirPods you can connect, but I can imagine a whole bunch of people having a class and listening to whatever the lecture would be. If they all connect to the same phone, I guess. That's well, how I think it's done. I don't know if anybody's done anything like that. I didn't even know you could attach two of those together, but obviously you can. So, any comments? If not, we'll continue. And this is the next one is how to add trusted phone numbers to your Apple account. This is, and John will chime in if he wants to later on. If you ever forget stuff that you forget, like your password or something, then you have a phone number that if the last thing you can do is, or the company can do, is use that phone number to send you information on how to recover everything. Well, this is saying you can have multiple phone numbers just in case. And I ran into something like that where the person moved, the company didn't exist, or the company existed, they didn't have a connection with it anymore. And they had to get into their mail, and they couldn't because the recovery key or the information was sent to a phone number that they had no access to before. So here are her instructions on how to provide numbers so they can send it to you to those numbers and you can get that needed information.
A trusted phone number helps to verify your identity when you sign into your Apple account on a new device or browser. You can add more than one trusted phone number to your Apple account, which can then receive verification codes in case you lose access to your trusted device and primary trusted phone number. Here's how to add an additional trusted phone number to your Apple account on iPhone. In Settings, tap Your Name. Tap Sign In and Security. Then tap Two-Factor Authentication. Below the list of devices and phone numbers, tap Add a Trusted Phone Number. You'll need to verify with Face ID, Touch ID, or your device passcode. Then just follow the prompts to complete the process. And that's how to add an additional trusted phone number to your Apple account on iPhone.
So anybody have any comments regarding this? This is important that you do at least have one trusted phone number so they can provide you with that information. Uh, Otherwise, uh, you're in dire straits.
This doesn't just apply to Apple, and it's very important you do this on your Google account, your Yahoo account. They need to have an alternate email address to your email account so they can email you, and a cellular phone number where they can text you when you get locked out and need to change your password, or so somebody else don't get into your account, they can't change your password, they're going to text you. Or if you can't get the text, they will email you till you get the choice of where to send it. The more ways that you have in case you lose, somebody will put it in there and then they have an Astound email address, but then they don't have Astound anymore. They gave it up. They moved on. Now they have some other service, and they send the code there. They don't have access to it. And I have had several people lose their SBC or PacBell accounts because they have no way to recover it with no alternate email address or a phone number that worked.
Yeah, that was the situation I had to deal with.
Yep.
And apparently no phone number couldn't resolve it. So be sure to have those there and have them current or not disabled.
Can the phone number be a landline, not a cell?
Most places can. Most of them places will get a choice to text me or call me. Call me on your landline, and an automated call will come in and it will speak the code to you. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Except that if it's like John said, if it's with somebody you no longer are with, you have no access to that phone call, or I mean to that phone number anymore. Somebody else has got that phone number, or it's been disabled, and you're just dead in the water, so to speak. Anyway, the next one, anybody else? But if not, we'll move on to. I got a couple more, one short one and one sort of. Yeah. This is about if your iPhone's this is beginning to become full, and what to do with it, and how to relieve and reuse the information or space.
Is your iPhone telling you that your storage is almost full? When that happens, your iPhone may no longer work properly. Certain apps may not open, may not be able to take photos. But don't worry, in this video, I'll show you 5 easy fixes to regain that space from your iPhone and your iPad too. No technical skills required. So let's get started. I'm Karen, and I teach everyday users how to use their technology. Tip 1. Check what's using your storage. To do that, let's open up Settings. Let's go down to General. Once you're in General, tap iPhone Storage. It's right here. When you tap iPhone Storage, the box on the top shows you a color bar. Shows you system data, messages, photo, music, and other downloaded files. Scroll down and you'll see which apps are using the most space on your phone. If you see apps you never use anymore as you're scrolling, then you can delete them easily. So if I see an app I don't want to use anymore, I can press Offload App or Delete App, and then I can confirm and press Delete. Now that saves me some space on my device. Sometimes one app is using several gigabytes without you even realizing it. So this screen will help you decide where you can regain space on your device. Right now I see that most of my storage is being used by applications. I also have recommendations that I can save up to almost 7 gigabytes by reviewing downloaded videos and audio recordings, and I can delete them. Some of them may even be duplicates. One of the biggest eaters of space on your phone is actually in your messages. How many times do you send a friend a message and you included a GIF or a video or something else that does take up a lot of space. Now, sometimes you'll get something and you'll download it, so it'll appear in your camera roll by saving it. But then you have it twice. So I recommend that you go to Review Large Attachments. You can press Edit, click on it. Once you click on it, you can press the garbage can, and now it's no longer on my phone. So here's another tip. Tip 2. Delete apps you don't really need. So to do that, go to your app library. Put your finger in the search button at the top, and you can scroll through the apps that you have. And if you see any that you don't need anymore, you can easily press on them and press Delete App. My recommendation is just remove the apps you no longer need anymore. If you're not using them, ask yourself, do you need them? Tip 3, clean up photos and videos. In this section, I'm going to show you how to open up your Photos app, look for duplicate photos, blurry pictures that you really don't need to save, screenshots that you may have taken to remember this or that, you don't need them anymore, or any long videos that really, do you really need them? You decide. Deleting just a few large videos can make a huge difference in the space, in the storage that you're using on your phone or on your iCloud. So let's see how that works. We're going to go to Photos. I'll type in Photos. And I'm going to go to Collections. Once I'm in Collections, scroll down to Screenshots, and then go through and select any you don't need and press the garbage can to delete. Now you can go through and take your time. You can open them up, decide what you need, what you don't need, and get rid of them. You can also go to Utilities and go to Duplicates. And you'll see that, wow, you didn't even know there were duplicates. So when you have two photos and they're duplicates, just press Merge and just go through and merge them. And you will be saving lots of space. Okay, so now I've gone through my photos. I've gotten rid of all those unnecessary photos and videos. The last thing you want to do is go to Recently Deleted, and you want to actually delete it. So click on it. When you're on this page, it's a little tricky to figure out how to delete your recently deleted photos. Here's what you do. Press Select, press the three dots, press Delete All, right there. And then press Delete from all devices, and they're gone. If I go back to my settings, I've gotten rid of a good amount of stuff, and I can keep going. Did you know your web browser also stores data over time? And so it's a good idea once in a while to go into your settings and clear it out. Let me show you how. Open up Settings, scroll all the way to the bottom to Apps and open that. And then search Apps for Safari right here and open it up. Once you're in Safari, we will scroll all the way down until you get to the History and Website Data section. You're going to see Clear History and Website Data. Let's press it. And you can do all history, or you can just do last hour, today, or today and yesterday. And then you can also close all your tabs. I like my tabs open, but it's a good way to reset every once in a while. Anyway, I can say, let me clear my history for the last hour. Or you can do all history and press Clear History, and then it's gone. And there's one last tip. Go back to Settings to General, and then iPhone Storage. Make sure you pay attention to the recommendations. Press Show All, and then go through. You can make a decision if you want to optimize your storage for maps, delete old conversations on messages, review your large attachments on messages, or review downloaded material. The nice thing about the recommendations is it'll tell you exactly, how much space you're saving. If your iPhone storage is almost full, this is a good thing to do. Maybe do it every few months, and then you'll stay on top of your device's storage. Try them today. And you may be surprised how much storage you recover.
So there it is. I want to find out how to get to, she at the end said you can also delete old messages. I'm trying to figure out how to get there because I think I've got some old messages that could be deleted. So any comments? Well, if not, I have,
Wait, I have a question.
okay, sorry.
When she was talking about deleting recently deleted, don't those automatically delete in 30 days or something?
Yeah, yes.
So it's
Yes.
hardly worth bothering.
Well, if you're trying to clean up space and you just deleted you're getting tight and you need to delete those photos to clear up the space, they don't free up the space for 30 days. So you're trying to clean it up, I would delete them.
Well, it'll just come back.
Well, if you put them in deleted items, then you're not going to recover any of that space of those photos for 30 days. The whole point is she's trying to go in there, and if you're in a situation where you're full and you need to free up space right
Well,
now.
yeah, if it's an emergency. Yeah.
Right. That's how it usually becomes. You don't do this until it's a problem.
Okay. The next one is you can manage multiple email accounts on your iPad. And there's Dan showing us how to do it.
In this video, we're going to take a look at how we manage our mail accounts on the iPad with iPadOS 26. Basically, what we're able to do is add different accounts such as a Yahoo account, a Gmail account, or even our Apple account to our Mail app. Now, if you find this video helpful, stick around to the end. I'll tell you a little bit more about myself and how you can help support my efforts in creating these videos. All right, let's take a look at how we manage our mail accounts on the iPad. Let's go over to my iPad. First, let's take a look at what I mean. I'm going to open up my Mail app. And when we do, what you're going to see here in the upper left-hand corner is I actually have two different accounts. I have iCloud, and then I have Gmail. Those are two different mail accounts. I could go and add another Gmail account. I could go and add a Yahoo account. I can go and add an AOL account in here. So these are all of my different accounts. And if I want to view all of the mail for any one of them, what I do is I just tap on it. So let's say I just wanted to view my mail from iCloud. I tap on iCloud here, and then I'm viewing my mail from iCloud. I want to view my mail from Gmail. I tap on Gmail. I'm viewing my mail from Gmail. I want to view all of them. I tap on all here, and it's going to combine those two accounts, and I can see all of the emails from those two accounts here. So that's what our accounts are. Now, where do we go and manage these? How do we go and add these accounts and remove them? We do this through the Settings app. So what I'm going to do is go to the Settings app, I swipe up, and we go over here to Settings. From here, what we need to do is we need to go to the bottom, and you're going to see Apps. We need to manage our mail account settings. This is where we set up our accounts, our mail accounts. So I tap on Apps, and then we go to Mail. So I'm just going to swipe up until we get to M's, and then you're going to see Mail. I tap on that, and I can view all of my settings for mail. The one that we're going to look at here is Mail Accounts. You're going to see that I have two accounts here. To add another account or to remove one of these accounts, I tap on it, and then from here I can go and manage those. First, let's see how we add an account. Maybe I want to add another Gmail account, or I'd like to add an AOL account. What we do is we tap on Add Account. I tap on it, and then from here I can type in the email address, or what I can do is I can tap on this here, and it'll give me the options from a list. So let's say I wanted to add another Gmail account. I tap on that link there, and then what I do is I tap on Google and I follow the instructions. If this was an AOL account, I would tap on AOL and follow the instructions. So that's how we go and add an account. Now once we add an account, what it'll do is it'll show up in this list here. So you're going to see I have my two accounts there. Now let's say I wanted to delete an account or maybe make it inactive. To do that, what we do is we tap on it. So I'm going to go to Gmail. Maybe I'm not using that account. I want to make it inactive. So what I do is I tap on it, and you're going to see Mail here. When we have a Google account or a Gmail account, it can also sync contacts, calendars, and notes. Now, we're just focusing on Mail here. With AOL, you might be able to manage contacts, calendars, and notes with that as well. Again, what we're going to focus on in this video here is Mail. So if I wanted to just turn that off, I want to keep all of my contacts, my calendars, my notes. I want to keep all those that are associated with this account, this Gmail account. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to turn Mail off. What you do is you just go over here to the right and you go and turn that off. When I turn that off, it doesn't delete the account itself. You're going to see I still have Gmail here. But what it will do is it'll make the Mail part of it inactive. So now when I go back into the Mail app, let's go ahead and go back into the Mail app, you're going to see that I only have one account. It's just my inbox because I have one account there, my Mac account. The Gmail account is no longer active, so it's not going to show up in this list. If you want to make it active again, you can just swipe up, go back to settings, and then we turn it back on. And now when we go back over to Mail, what you're going to see here is my Gmail account. So we don't have to necessarily delete it. We can turn it off, and then it will no longer show in the Mail app. And the reason why we may want to do that is we may be using some of the other services that Google offers, such as contacts, calendars, or notes. Now, if you want to delete it, you can do that as well. You tap on delete here. What this will do is this will delete the account from the iPad. It doesn't actually delete the account at Gmail. You're still going to have your Gmail account. But what it will do is it'll delete it from the iPad. And you will no longer have any of these services. So if you're just not using that account anymore, you can go ahead and delete the account. And then we'll remove it from the iPad. So that's how we manage our accounts, our Mail accounts on the iPad.
Okay, that's all I got. I hope you understood what he was talking about. And then obviously we do have multiple email accounts, and that's how to stop and start them. So, anybody have anything to add or questions about that? If not, this is the end. Time for questions and answers. I'm gonna stop the share.
Anything else about the presentation today you want to ask, comments, questions, or we'll move on to a new recording for general Q&A? Last chance. Hearing none, I will say, DVMUG members who are watching this on YouTube, you know the drill by now. You can get a link to the next Q&A recording on the DVMUG BBS. Stop.